Arc Formulas, Part 1. All right, we're going to start out with the definition and formula for a central arc. So a central arc has the angle of the vertex at the center of a circle, and the two sides are the radii, so they will be congruent. If it is a central arc, it's going to equal the degrees of the central angle. So I'm looking at the minor arc of 84 degrees because angle BAC opens up to arc AC. So if this is 84, this will be 84. The major arc, so let's go ahead and minor arc, major arc, is going to be 360 minus 84, and that is going to give us 276. Degrees. All right, so let's go through and see what we know. So we have arc SW is 72 degrees. We have angle TXU at 87 degrees, which because it is at the center, 87 degrees, that means TU is going to be 87 degrees for the arc. Now, in order to find arc ST, you'll notice that we're working with a diameter. So that means these three arcs together are going to equal 180. So in order to find ST, I'm going to do 180 minus 159. And I got the 159 by adding 72 and 87. So that's going to give me 21 degrees. Okay. Now you'll notice that I need to have arc UT. Okay, arc UT, again, we're working with another diameter, goes through the center. So I can do this arc is going to be 180 minus 108. I got the 108 by adding 87 and 21. And that's going to give me 72. Okay. If I want to find my last arc, I'm going to take 180 minus 72. And that's going to give me 108. So now I have all of the arcs, and I can go through and double check that, add those together, and that should equal 360. So let's look at what is the measure of arc WU. So WU let's see. WU, or is this a V? Oh, okay. Hold on just a minute here. Let me fix this. It should be a V. Now that makes more sense. Okay, so WV is going to be 108. TW, so TW is going to be 93. Again, I would just add these two arcs together to get my 93. And then arc TVW, so TVW. So I'm going to add 87, 72, 108, and I'm going to get 267. Now, if I'm looking for the measure of an angle, I'm looking for the measure of angle UXV. So UXV is a central angle. So that means that angle is going to be the same degrees as the arc that the endpoints create. And so that's going to be 72 degrees. Okay. In this one, we're looking at, again, arc JK and arc LK are part of the 180 degrees, or half of the circle, because this is your diameter. It goes through the center of N. So I'm going to be able to write 5x plus 23 plus 17x minus 41 is equal to 180 degrees. Combine like terms, I have 22x minus 18 is equal to 180. 0 pair the 18. So I have 22x is equal to 198. Divide by 22, divide by 22, x is equal to 9. So if I'm looking for the measurement of the, if I'm looking for x, it's going to be 9. Now, if I want to see the arc, so the measurement of arc JK is going to be 5 times 9 plus 23, which is 45 plus 23, which is 68. If I'm looking for the measure of arc LK, it's going to be 17 times 9 minus 41, which is going to be 153 minus 41, which is going to be 112 degrees. So I can find my x, I can find my arcs. So my x is equal to 9. My arc MJ, let's see, JK, well, let's fill in what we have found so far. So we know JK is 68 degrees, and we know LK is 112 degrees. These are going to be vertical angles, which is going to make this arc 112 degrees. And these two are vertical angles because they go through the center. So that's going to make this arc 68 degrees. So MJ is 112 degrees, and JK is 68 degrees, and LMK, so LMK would be the sum of these three arcs, so 68 plus 112 plus 68 is going to give us 248 degrees. All right, if we're looking for the arc length, we have a new formula. The length is going to equal x minus c. X is going to be the degree of the arc given, and c is going to be the circumference of the circle that you're working with. So let's start with the first one. So we have number 10 on your worksheet, and we have EB is 15, so we have our 15 here, and we have our degree of our arc is 68 degrees. So what we are going to do is we are looking for arc CD. So I know that this is 68 degrees, since it is a central arc. And I'm going to look at now figuring out how big this arc would be. So because this goes through the center, I'm going to take 180 minus 68 degrees, and that's going to give me 112. So now I have L equals 112 degrees minus the circumference. So the circumference is going to equal 2 pi times the radius, which is 15. So the circumference is going to equal 30 pi. So minus 30 pi, sorry, not minus, times. We need to make this a times up here, sorry. And then this is going to be 360. So we have L is equal to, when we put 112 and 30 into the calculator, we get 3360 pi divided by 360. And we're going to get L is equal to 29.32 centimeters if we round to the nearest hundredth. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have updated our formula here. So this is X times C. All right. So now we're looking for the length of arc FED, which means I need to know the degrees of this angle. So it is a central angle because the vertex is in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract so that I can figure out my angle. I have 360 minus, and I have 90 plus 47 degrees plus 80. So I'm going to have, this angle is going to equal 143. Okay, so in order to find my x, I'm going to take 143, which is from D to E, plus E to F is 90 degrees, which is going to give me L is equal to 233 times, and now I need my circumference. So we are told that FG, so this is my G. FG is 27, which is a radius. So C is equal to 2 times pi times 27. So my circumference is going to be 54 pi. So times 54 pi, and then we're going to divide that by 360. So L is equal to 12582 pi divided by 360. So the length of the arc is going to be 109.8 yards squared, rounding to the nearest hundredth. Oops, hundredth, so that would be 80. All right, now let's look at chords. Two chords are congruent if and only if their corresponding arcs are congruent. So if the chords are congruent, that means their arcs are equal. They are also congruent. So here I have two chords, and if I'm going to find the lengths of the arcs, then I'm going to set those equal to each other. So I'm going to have 11x minus 72 is equal to 5x plus 6. I'm going to zero pair out your 5x. 6x minus 72 is equal to 6. Zero pair out the 72. So 6x is equal to 78. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X is going to equal 13. So now that I have x, I can see what the measurement of the arc is. So the measure of arc, RS, is going to equal 11 times 13 minus 72, which is going to be 71 degrees. Now let's look at inscribed angles. So an inscribed angle is an angle whose vertex sits on the circle and its sides are made up of chords. The intersected arc is going to go from one end of the angle to the other angle, to the other end point, excuse me. And our inscribed angle is going to be half the distance of the arc. All right, so let's see what we can find here. So if I have, first of all, I'm working with, one of the chords is the diameter. So that means this is 180 degrees from A to B. If I have 47 is the inscribed angle, then I'm going to double that to find the arc. So arc AC, the measure of, is going to be 2 times 47, which is going to be 94 degrees. But notice that we're trying to find the angle, the measure of arc BC. So what we're going to do is we're going to take arc BC is going to equal 360 minus 180 plus 94. 180 plus 94. 360 minus 274 is going to give us the measurement of arc BC, which is going to be 86 degrees. And again, those three arcs added together will equal 360. All right, now we have an inscribed arc, but notice that it is not on a diameter. So what I'm going to do to find the measure is I'm going to take the arc, so the measure of arc LN is going to equal 2 times the measure of angle LMN. So I have 4x plus 58 is equal to 2 times 67. So I'm going to do 67 times 2 is 134. So 4x plus 58 is equal to 134. 0 pair out the 58. 4x is equal to 134 minus 58, 76. Divide by 4, divide by 4. And x is going to equal 19. So if I want to find x, I have 19. If I want to find the measure of arc LN, then I can do 4 times 19 plus 58. 4 times 19 is 76 plus 58 is going to give me 134, which is also double 67. And that ends part 1 of arc measurements.